you, I've got that thing running like an absolute top. That thing has so many hours on it, it's crazy. Doesn't burn a drop of oil. But I've maintained it right since brand new, and I always let it idle down. I always let it warm up. I don't treat it like most people treat a pressure washer. Yeah, I've cleaned the carb. I've modified the carb actually. Just bigger starter jet, just so it always runs good in the cold. But anyway, we're just washing up Team China here. Let's go have a look. Look at this. Old Team China's getting a friggin' paint job, folks. Yep. She's pretty squeaky clean now. Look at it. Degrease it all with Castro Super Clean. You always want to keep your stuff nice and clean, because boy, it makes a difference when you go to wrench on them. I don't really do any major repairs unless I'm got it spotless, but well, actually I just changed that and I didn't wash it. Normally I don't do that, but yeah, so you put a little bag over the intake. That's my new intake mod that I did there. Quite a bit bigger than the old one. Made a big difference on the top end. You should see how fast this thing is on now on the highway. Uh-oh, missed a spot. I'll go grab that and get that done. There's my starter I bought off Amazon, going on 6 years ago now. Silicone all the seams. Still spins the engine over like the wheel of fortune. It's getting a new oil pressure gauge. I don't like the digital. It doesn't work anyways, and so I'm just gonna have like an actual, well, it's, I don't know what you call it, but a little bit of dirt down there. You always gotta look at them after to get them cleaned up. But yeah, it's getting a new fuel filter. It's getting rid of all this fuel line. It's getting all heavier duty stuff. So if it ever has a fire or anything, at least it'll be by it some time before it actually catches on fire, you know. You think I shouldn't care with a piece of crap like this, but you know what? I'm starting to get attached to it. I am attached to it, man. This thing's been so freaking awesome. Provided me so much firewood, and I sold so many loads of firewood and hauled it in. You've seen the loads that I haul with this thing. Anyway, look at the plastic on it. It's just garbage, like cheap as you can get. It's the cheapest, the cheapest, most brittle plastic on the planet. I bought a plastic welder, and I got all the pieces for Humpty Dumpty here. I hit the fence there about 2 years ago coming in on a night run. It was like minus 25. I made a video on that one. YouTube, a long form video. Anyways, I came in, went and visit my cousin, and after I left there, I freaking came home and ran right into my fence just on the way in, just tagged it a little bit. Anyways, I got new lights, and this is hopefully going to be able to get fixed up. You won't see that. I've never plastic welded before, but like everything else, I'll just teach myself on the fly. I do lots of reading and stuff, and it always works out good. This is the strongest Chinese decal known to man. I got a 3400 PSI pressure washer. It would not peel that off. It peeled off all the paint. This is cool. It's transparent. So, you know, if I was to put lights under here, it would just literally glow going down the trail, which would be kind of cool, but we're just going to paint it white. So yeah, it's getting all new stuff. Eventually it's going to get new tires. I'm going with ITP Blackwater Evolutions. I'm going to go with 28. So they'll be, these are 27s, but they actually measure 26. So they'll be 2 full inches taller than these. I'm going to take the roll cage, paint it. I'm going to paint it up. 2 or 3 years ago, I painted this with box liner spray. This easy liner that I get from Canadian Tire. It's made in Canada. Man, does it ever work good. Like, you don't want to get gas on it. It doesn't work good with gas on it. But other than that, it is bulletproof. Like, I've had gravel in here. You've seen the firewood loads, and look at it. Still holds up pretty good. So it's going to get all, like, just a little scuff again. I'll give it another bunch of coats of that box liner. It's going to be like new. I got to weld this here. You can see. So I'm going to have to get the welder out, and when I do that, I'm going to pull my Radley generator out, and I'm going to also finally do that video, and I'll use it to try and power my welder. Well, that's the plan anyways. We'll see. I mean, I can just plug in, but I want to try the generator, see if it'll work. So that way I'll know when I'm out in the field if I can use my welder while I'm out camping in the mountains with my toy hauler, you know? So yeah, we're gonna do her all up there. There's the new shocks. There is not a half a millimeter of play in anything. Everything's super tight. The boots are gone on the other side. This side's still good for my sway bar. I think I'm gonna leave my sway bar on, and actually with these new shocks, and once you get like a bit of weight in there, like my next adventure that I'm going on here in a little bit, I'm gonna be loaded down. I'll be in the mountains for probably a week or two, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave it on there. It works pretty good actually. It flexes good and keeps it stable. Because you know, you're on cliffs and stuff out in the mountains, it can get pretty scary. You get on a side hill and you got like a cliff below you. You want this thing being stable. You don't want it falling over, rocking and falling over. There's my muffler I welded up years back, a couple years ago. It's still holding up. That is such cheap garbage, like metal. It's so hard to weld. You can't do a nice job. It's just so thin. And then look at this. I had to weld the exhaust mount. I should just go buy those from Yamaha or make something new. Exhaust always needs work, but it's not terrible. Might throw new rear brake pads in it again. The odd time I forget my e-brake on and I may have worn them down, but I'll check that out. What else is getting? I'm gonna get new Yamaha belt finally. That's getting in, gonna go in it. This is the original belt, 3,300 kilometers, just still works great. Eventually I wanna make a box for this to go in here, like a waterproof storage. It's really nice having that storage under the seat. Just a super cool quad. Like think of this thing as like the old, you know, the guys that go on these trips and they take those Land Rovers, the old ones. They take them because the same situation as this. They want to be able to get out of the mountains or out of the bush easily. Fuel injection and all the new crap, like you might have a hard time getting out, but these old things, like my battery dies, anything, it'll just run off the stator. It's not fuel injected. Anything happens with my fuel pump, I mean, I pack a spare one, but even if I didn't, I just put a jerry can with a line right down there and gravity feed it into the carb just like as if it was a quad. It doesn't even know any different, run great, you know. This thing never ever overheats. I got a thermostat in there now. Ran so cool, I actually had to put a thermostat in it. So yeah, it just runs great. Eventually I'm gonna get rid of this air box and it's gonna get mounted up high. It's just gonna curl here. Oops. It's just gonna curl here and up. So then I'll be able to go through like 8 feet of water and it'll be like a real rhino in the water. So yeah, I gotta build skid plates. Oh man, how many videos have you seen where sticks have come through there? Like, look at that. And the rhinos were the same, exactly the same as these China mobiles. I get an all new steering rack. There's just a little bit of play. Let's see if we can get on camera here. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can. Okay, watch this. See that? That little bit of play? Most people wouldn't notice that, I don't think, or even care about it. I don't like it. It's just a little bit of play, but it's still there. So it was $78 for a new steering rack. This one lasted me like almost 4 years now. And so I've got new tie rod ends, and I'll keep this one as a spare, and I'll keep it right on board. So if I ever break a steering rack, I still got this one to get me home, you know. These shocks are still pretty darn good, actually. I don't really need to replace them, but I'm going to soon because the bushings are gone in here anyways. So I'm gonna buy the same brand as the back. I'm really impressed with those back shocks. First I wasn't sure, and then I just took it for a ride the other night. Totally impressed. That needs a little bath again. That's why you gotta always look at them, see what spots you missed. I'm going to see that fluid looks dirty. That should be nice and clear. So that's gonna get all new fluid and flushed out again. And then the brakes will feel nice and firm like they did when I first did them. The winch has got to come apart. I'm gonna paint these rims black. I'm not a chrome guy anymore. I don't like that. Chrome won't get you home. Like I said, the frame is gonna get all box lined, the roll cage. This is getting Raptor lined white, the old Wolf SS. You're not a Wolf SS anymore, you're Team China. What a name, eh? Moto Bishi is what they call it. It's actually a HISUN, but you know, it's like 20 different names for these things. So they called them a Moto Bishi Pantera 700S, or Moto Bishi Pantera Wolf 700 SS. What a name. A Pantera, and then they call it the Wolf. I mean, come on. Hilarious. But yeah, it's gonna be good, folks. Okay, well, that's all I got for you. Oh, and I got new winch line for this too. This is bent up. I actually put a lift kit. I built this little piece on here, just a couple inches, but I wanted it, every little bit helps, you know, so it's got 2 inches, the winch is up taller, like higher 2 inches, and so is the whole bumper and everything. And then I actually gave the bumper a lift kit, or the hood a lift kit. See that? I actually gave it a lift kit, so it actually sits up higher than stock. Just gives the illusion that it's got like a lift kit, but I actually wanted the clearance between the fenders. Got chrome moly American Star Racing. They're built right in the USA. Pretty happy about that. No more made in China junk. I bought 2 of these off Amazon, but I found out that RM Stator makes one that they claim is better than the stock OEM one. But whatever, these last me about a year usually. But now that I got this new upgraded voltage regulator, maybe they'll last longer. But this one just started crapping out on me. And that's what I get out of them, about a year. But I've got 2 more in the glove box. So yeah, there's my new snatch block. This thing's got to get a little cable on it so it just sits there. And then I got to put a foam around here so it's sealed up a little better. And yeah, fuel gauge is working beautiful. That's my own modification. I used the 660 Rhino gauge and then used my old arm. I got a video for that. But that worked out beautiful. So now my gauge actually works and it's very, very accurate. It's more accurate than it was stock because I adjusted, I kind of tweaked it. Got a new fuel filter there, billet aluminum, Evil Energy, the same guys that make this one-way check valve. And I'm gonna remount this T behind that check valve. So that should stop because right now the check valve works kind of a little bit, but it still drains back through here because this is before the check valve, right? So it drains out of the carb and into the tank, which is no good. So you go to start it up and it's momentarily out of fuel. It doesn't take long to bring it back up, but still, it sits for like 3 weeks and it's gonna take long. But I also built a primer for it. This thing is like built for, you know, the end of the world. So if it's like minus 40, I have a snowmobile primer. Literally just primes it right into the intake. And I ported this intake too, by the way, when I did it. But yeah, it literally injects it right into there. So you just touch the key at minus 40 with that thing and she fires. AMSOIL 1040, now it doesn't burn a drop of oil before. Well, it wasn't burning it was just kind of like disappearing. So that's all cool. What else am I getting? What else is it getting? I do have an upgraded timing chain tensioner, and I guess I'm sort of experimenting and playing with fire. I've got the 700 Rhino style. I honestly think these things are famous for cam chains. It's just because guys run these stupid things out of oil. They don't know how to check them. They screw them in to check the oil. You're not supposed to screw them in. You're just supposed to dip them, just like a Honda. You unscrew it and you just dip it. I always actually turn it backwards, like as if I'm loosening it, just so it seats on the threads, gives it real accurate, measurement. And you just get it to the top of the line and that's it. And so I honestly think that's why people have problems with their cam chains, or maybe they're using cheap oil. But the biggest thing, low on oil, I'm sure. I adjusted the valves once. Like I said, I just touch the key and this thing fires that fast. Way faster than fuel injection. Fuel injection has to make a couple of revolutions, not Team China. Touch the key, look at it the wrong way, boom, she's running. What else did I do? Oh yeah, the pull starter. That's what I mean. Like this thing is, I got like 3 things to get me out of. I have like 3 backups for every problem, you know? So I've got the best battery money can buy, which is, they sell these in Canada. This is a super awesome battery, BRS batteries out of Ontario. They're probably Chinese, but whatever. They, I don't know what they do to them, but this thing's always at like 12.9, 13 volts. That's where it sits all the time. And that was even before I put the regulator on. And so, yeah. But what else? Eventually I'm going to put a new stator for it, and I got a new flywheel key. I think the flywheel keys only sheared on these because of the one-way bearing. Don't ever use those cheap one-way bearings. Junk, absolute junk, and they're going to, well, they'll break your key, because when the engine kicks back, they always snap back and they make a real abrupt stop, and that's what happens. Breaks the flywheel key. But I stock one of them too. I got an actual Yamaha key. But the only thing I got to do is I'm going to take this stator out, keep it as a spare, and I'm going to put an RM high output stator in there too. So then that'll all be new, and a trigger coil while I'm there. So then I'll have literally every single component to the electrical system other than the flywheel. I probably won't have a spare flywheel, but there won't be anything to leave me stranded. That water pump, still going good. Recently, I thought that I had an issue. I thought maybe it was leaking oil, but I think it was just dirt. Yeah, see, it's all clean now again. So I think it was just dirt, because that was dark and it looked like oil, but then you felt it and it wasn't. So I think what happened was dirt's just getting into that thing. And that may get modified. Evil Energy makes a nice, cool little reservoir. I might put one of them on an aluminum one, just so it's more durable too. If that ever cracked, it's not life or death. You'd be fine. But it's your overflow, you know, for the rad. Yeah, and this is where I mounted the oil cooler up here. This is a bracket off my old Super Duty, brand new F-150, right from Ford bracket, but I cut it. Holds that thing just perfect, just nice and solid. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty reliable, as much as it looks horrible. Look at this, the old camouflage. I guess that was the base paint they had on them, and then they painted them other colors, or I don't know what, but junk. Yeah, so there's not much that hasn't been changed on Team China. She's gonna get the Blackwater Evolutions, the new tires. Needs a skid plate desperately. You can see. Might get that on this outing, this inning, when it goes in the hangar. It's getting a new roof. I got puckboard that I bought for my last side-by-side, which I called Some Ting Wong. Some Ting Wong all the time with that thing too. But I always liked this one. Better. I drove this thing when it was brand new, and I was like, man, this thing's got way more torque than my 800 Some Ting Wong twin. Yeah, well, that's all I got for you folks. I think that's it. We're gonna just let her dry out here, and I'm gonna paint all this stuff. This is all gonna get painted with that box liner spray, and apparently it's good for plastic too, so we'll find out. This tire has a bit of a slow leak, because this is the one that I smashed a hole right through. So it has just a tiny pinhole now. You can see it. Maybe, is that it right there? Somewhere it's got just a pinhole. Whatever. These tires are done. They've got so many miles on these, it's ridiculous. The only reason they're not worn right out is because I don't ride hardly ever gravel roads. That's why they've lasted so long. It's going to be like, you know, prom night when she comes out of the hangar. Boy, she's going to be pretty looking. All nice and white. And I got some LED lights. I got some LED lights for here. Gonna put 3 LED lights there. Well, I may even split some wood yet tonight. We'll see. I'm not sure. I brought the splitter out. I like to do a little bit of work every day. Today I haven't really done anything for like firewood work. I've just been working on Team China all day and cleaning my shop, and even had the wood stove going at the beginning of the day. That's how cold. Like, it's super. It was 26 degrees out today, but in the house it was pretty darn cold. Like 11 degrees in the house, and the shop was the same. So I got the hippie killer going there, Hippie K, and I probably haven't had a drink in like, I don't know, 2 months maybe. So I thought, I'm gonna go buy some of these. Anyhow, wood's cracking up nice, and yeah, that's all I got for you folks. Have a good one.